everyone, it's Randy Smith from Peanut Butter Fish Lessons here, and I read a good book last month that I want to share with you. It is called Teach, Creating Independently Responsible Learners. It's by Dennis DiNoia. You may have heard of him as Mr. D, as in Mr. D's Math. It is a popular program with many homeschoolers. I personally don't know much about Mr. D's Math, but I often see it recommended in Facebook groups for homeschoolers as being a really good math program. So he's also an author, as you can see here, and he pulled on his master's in education and his 30-year plus teaching career to write this book about how we as parents or as teachers can help our students become more independent in their learning. It helps us think about how we can take more of a coaching role to teaching our children. So it's a pretty short book. It's 136 pages. You can see it's, the print's a pretty good size. It's very conversational style. It's not like a dry textbook where you're trying to make sure you're paying attention to all the points, but you will want to underline. I definitely did have a pencil with me underlining different things that I will go back to. So it's 11 chapters. You could easily do one chapter a night, get through it in 2 weeks, or you could do one chapter a week and then work on that particular skill that he was talking about in the book. There are 4 chapters that I suggest you share with your kids. If you click the link down below in the description to my review on my site, I tell you what chapters those are. And if you've got younger kids, you could do those as a read aloud after you have read the book. Or if you have older kids, you could just mark those chapters, hand the book off to them. So what are you going to learn in this book? Again, it helps you take a coaching role to teaching your children. It starts off by defining what an independently responsible learner looks like. And it teaches you how to help your kids ask for support when they need it. As a speech therapist for many years, I used to often get asked, and I still get asked actually, how do I know if I'm giving my children too much support? And so this is a really good book to kind of teach you how to back that support off and put your kids in charge of asking for the support they need. It talks about how to get your kids to check their own work, correct their own mistakes, how to take a topic and teach other people that topic, because really that's when we learn best, right? Is when we have to teach a topic to someone else. There's a chapter on testing. I found that interesting because I, like many homeschoolers, have not done a lot of testing with my kids. That's, one of my complaints, so to say, about public schools is there's too much testing. So we've really gone in the opposite direction. But he shares a lot about how we have a lot of tests in real life. And I'm not going to tell you what all those are. You can read the book to find out. But he makes a point that our kids need to learn how to respond to a test because there are a lot of real life tests. And so that's something we can practice in our homeschool. So I was like, oh, that's interesting. I didn't think about that. And it talks about how teaching kids, he pulls on his math background, teaching kids to actually find the question in a problem before you try to come up with an answer. So just some critical thinking skills when you do have a problem. So if you are one of those parents wondering, how can I make my child be more independent in his learning? How can I give less support? Make sure I'm not giving too much support to my child. Highly recommend you pick up Teach, Creating Independently Responsible Learners by Dennis DiNoia of Mr. D's Math. See you next time.